Welcome back guys to another Cyberpunk video. This video is actually long overdue because there are still a lot of ongoing issues around Cyberware capacity. A lot of people are not reaching the intended limit of Cyberware capacity, which is 424. But most players are actually stuck between 300 and 320 capacity for seemingly no reason. Only a few ever reached more than 340 or even 350. That the shards are stopping to drop is actually in some way intended, because CDPR has imposed a fixed limit of how many Cyberware capacity shards can actually drop. So everybody should be able to reach the theoretical limit of 424 capacity. The reason why you have a different amount of Cyberware capacity is not because the Cyberware capacity shards stopped dropping for you, it is because you didn't collect them. But that is not your fault, it is the fault of CDPR and how the Cyberware capacity shard drop mechanism actually works. In this video I will show you a way how to fix your missing Cyberware capacity and get to the real intended limit. You can do that without using any glitches and even if there are no more shards dropping for you. You may also be wondering why there is even a limit imposed by CDPR and why do these shards actually stop dropping. It would be so great to have infinite capacity. Well, I don't want to condemn anyone who wants more capacity and is using glitches to do so, because of course I do want more capacity too. But it makes a lot of sense that there is a limit. Cyberware capacity is different from money or materials. It actually doesn't matter if you have infinite amounts of money or infinite amount of crafting components. Of course it makes the game easier, but it is intended that you get infinite amounts of money. But Cyberware capacity on the other hand is used to define a framework in which you can create your build. If there would be no limit to Cyberware capacity at all, you could of course just equip all the iconic Cyberware and create your build. But it is an important game mechanic in RPG games that you have to make a decision to rather use one item over another one. So a fixed limit of Cyberware capacity that is reachable by everyone is imposing a fixed framework for everyone to create the most powerful build with a given number of capacity. This is basically a great gameplay decision to even the field that everybody can play with the same rules. But it is of course fundamentally flawed if everyone reaches a different number of Cyberware capacity at the end of the game. This completely turns an actual good decision into a terribly bad one. But how do we actually get to 424, and why is 424 the ultimate limit? You can of course get more than 424 capacity if you use glitches and duplicate your shards, or if you use mods and hack your game. So 424 is the maximum legitimate limit you can reach in Cyberpunk 2077 after patch 2.1. Going too far beyond this limit will even cause the game and the Ripper dogs to not work properly anymore. These 424 capacity consists of 21 base capacity, 180 capacity from levels, which means you get 3 capacity per level, 50 from the Edge Runners perk, up to 15 from your engineering progression, 20 from Renaissance Punk, and another 70 if you use the Chrome processor. These are all fixed amounts and nobody can take away any of these capacity values. But then we have the capacity shards. You will get a total of 54 capacity from the base game and another 14 capacity when you own Phantom Liberty. This all adds up to the magic number of 424 capacity. There's a fixed amount of 7 green, 4 blue, 4 epic and 2 legendary shards that will drop exactly in this order, and another 5 green and 1 epic shard you can collect in Phantom Liberty. The total amount of capacity you get from capacity shards has been reduced from 80 in 2.0 to only 68 in 2.1. After you collected your second legendary shard from the base game, you will get no more capacity shards from the base game. The Phantom Liberty shards are all dropping from Cyber Junkies, from which the first 5 junkies will all drop a capacity shard. It doesn't matter in which order you kill them, just the first 5 junkies will drop a green capacity shard, and any further Cyber Junkie will no longer drop a shard for you. Then there is one additional shard in the Stadium Garage, which will be a blue shard if you loot it before level 30, and it will be an epic shard if you loot it above level 30. So if you manage to grab all those shards, if you have all your attributes at least on level 9, and if you choose to use the additional Chrome processor for the additional 70 capacity, you will end up with exactly 424 capacity. But in most builds, you will of course not want to use the Chrome processor, and you will also not have every attribute on level 9. In most builds, you will have 4 attributes at level 9, which means the real capacity maximum for most builds is actually 350 if you own Phantom Liberty, and it will be 306 without the Phantom Liberty shards and with 10 levels less. But there is a big problem with these shards, and that is the reason why nobody is actually getting the final fixed amount of capacity. Everyone is always missing a small amount of capacity, which differs from player to player. Some players are stuck at 300, some players are stuck at 320, some maybe even have managed to get to 345 and only miss a few. That's because these shards are only dropping once, and the game counts just the drop, but not the collection of them. So the game is dropping a fixed amount of 7 green, 4 blue, 4 epic and 2 legendary shards in the base game. And if you're only missing a single one of these shards, you will no longer be able to reach the maximum amount of capacity. So if you kill an enemy, he's dropping a shard, which is only a green one, and you decide not to loot this body, or you simply can't do it because of some sort of bug, you will never get again this green shard. You will be missing it forever, with no chance to ever collect it again. Because the game is only counting the number of shard drops, it doesn't count if you actually collected them, which is insanely stupid. And there are so many ways how this could even happen on accident. You may have killed him with a sniper rifle and he's simply too far away to even bother looting him, or you can simply not reach him because you don't have double jump at the beginning of the game. There's still a bug in the game that some dismembered bodies are still not lootable. Just imagine if this legendary loot was actually your last missing capacity shard. You would be furious if you couldn't collect it. I even started a new character and tried my very best to collect every single piece and every shard, but I still missed 1 green and 1 epic shard. Even if you know all this, it is almost impossible not to miss a single shard. But there is actually a way to fix and add these missing shards. However, this is a very dirty hack and I don't really recommend to do it. You know, I'm always against cheating and I strongly recommend you to stay in the limits, but after all these bugs I also won't condemn you if you just give yourself a 1000 capacity. In order to add capacity shards on PC, you can use a save editor from Nexus mods. I will add you a link for this in the description. Once you started the save editor and you loaded one of your save files, you will see the character page. The Cyberware capacity shards can be found under the additional stats. These are all marked as constant humanity values. They have a value of 2, 3, 4 or 6 capacity. So if you have only 5 green shards, then you can add 2 more green shards. If you are missing all of the rare shards, add 4 more rare shards and so on, until you have exactly the number of shards which you are supposed to have. In order to add a missing shard, press on the new constant button, select additive, select humanity and then the value you want to add. If you're missing a green shard, enter the number 2. If you're missing a rare shard, enter 3. For epic, enter 4. And for legendary, you can enter 6. You can also just simply count the number of capacity you are missing and just add it all at once. Don't forget to press the save button when you're done and also save all your changes on the main page of the editor. And make sure you load your fixed save file with the new fixed capacity shards before you start playing the game. And of course, nobody is actually preventing you from adding a shard that has 100 or 1000 capacity. I won't condemn you if you do that, but I would strongly recommend you not to cheat on this matter, because CDPR might ultimately decide to remove the access capacity anyway. Of course, you don't have the save editor available for consoles, but you can use the cross progression and actually access your save file on PC. That of course means that you have to know someone which also owns the game on PC, or you have to own the game yourself on PC. Any of those save files can be used on any platform, and you can also transfer this save file back. The process of transferring back your save file is a bit more complicated. Once you're done fixing all your shards, save your save file, then load this save file on your PC, save it again and make sure this save file is being created as a cloud save. Then you can access the fixed save file on your consoles. I want to stress again that we are only fixing what is fundamentally broken by CDPR in the first place. So whatever you do with this information, do it at your own risk. But I really hope that CDPR is finally realizing that counting only the drops and not counting the collection of shards is fundamentally broken, and I really hope they're going to fix this within the next patch or the next update. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave me a like and see you next time.